The 5 quiet cues your loved one's body is sending you. Have you felt a quiet shift in a loved one lately? Maybe a small change in their routine or a sudden loss of energy. Most people believe the end of life happens suddenly, but often, the body sends subtle signals, quiet cues that can begin a year or more before the final stage. The problem is, these signs are so easy to miss. They look like simple aging, a bad day, or a slight decline. But when you look back, you realize the clues were there all along. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 of those quiet cues. These are not about fear or sadness. They are about awareness and love. When you recognize these signals, you have the chance to provide better comfort, make every moment count, and ensure your loved one's final stage is filled with dignity and peace. By the end, you will know exactly what to look for and, more importantly, how to respond with compassion and understanding. 1. A loss of interest in the world around them. One of the most profound changes in the year before the end of life is a gradual withdrawal from social life and once cherished hobbies. It's not just about forgetting names or conversations. It's a deep loss of motivation and connection. You might notice your loved one no longer looks forward to visiting with friends, stops engaging in hobbies they once loved, or prefers to sit in silence rather than watch a favorite TV show. This isn't a lack of love or an act of rudeness. It's the body's way of conserving energy. As internal systems slow, the brain begins to deprioritize tasks that require significant energy, and social interaction is at the top of that list. For an elderly person, trying to keep up with a fast-paced conversation or the demands of a social gathering can be physically and emotionally draining. You may notice them sleeping more, having brief moments of alertness, but spending most of the day in a restful state. This is their body telling them it's time to rest. It's a shift from an outward focus to an inward one. Instead of pushing them to be active or social, the most loving thing you can do is meet them where they are. Hold their hand, sit with them in silence, or play their favorite music. They may not have the energy for a conversation, but they can still feel your presence and your love. 2. Drastic changes in appetite and weight. Have you noticed your loved one's appetite shrinking? Maybe they're skipping meals, or a plate of food that once seemed small now looks overwhelming. This can be one of the earliest physical signs of the body preparing for its final transition. It's a natural physiological response. As the body's systems slow down, it no longer requires the same amount of fuel. This change is not just about a lack of hunger. It can also be related to a loss of the sense of taste and smell, making food less enjoyable. You might see a favorite meal go untouched, or they might prefer soft, simple foods over complex ones. This unintentional weight loss, often accompanied by a decrease in muscle mass, can lead to a visible frailty. A person who once stood tall and strong might start to look visibly smaller and weaker. Trying to force a loved one to eat more at this stage can be counterproductive and stressful. The focus should shift from nutrition to comfort. Offer small, frequent servings of foods they enjoy, and make sure they stay hydrated with sips of water or juice. A spoonful of ice cream may not provide a lot of nutrients, but it can provide a moment of joy and a sense of care. Acknowledging that their body's needs are changing and adjusting your approach accordingly is an act of deep compassion. 3. A loss of mobility and balance. While some decline in mobility is normal with age, a rapid and significant loss of balance and an increase in falls can be a powerful warning sign. It's a cue that the body's systems are no longer working in harmony. This can be due to a combination of factors, including muscle weakness, poor circulation, and a decrease in nerve function. Simple tasks like getting up from a chair, walking to the bathroom, or climbing a few stairs suddenly become difficult or dangerous. You might notice they start to shuffle their feet when they walk, or they need to hold onto furniture for support. They may also appear dizzy or unsteady even when moving slowly. A single fall can have devastating consequences, leading to fractures or other injuries that the body can't recover from. This loss of mobility can also have a major emotional impact. An individual who once prided themselves on their independence may feel a sense of shame, frustration, or hopelessness. It's a time to focus on safety and reassurance. Make sure their living space is free of tripping hazards and offer support with a gentle hand rather than a lecture about being careful. The goal is to preserve their safety and dignity, not to make them feel like a burden. 4. Changes in personal hygiene and appearance. Have you noticed that your loved one has stopped caring for themselves in small ways? Maybe they refuse to change their clothes, their hair is no longer styled, or they've stopped shaving. These changes in personal hygiene can be a quiet but clear sign of a deeper physical and emotional decline. This isn't about being lazy. It's about the profound lack of energy and the emotional weight of preparing for the end of life. Maintaining personal care requires a surprising amount of energy and motivation. Brushing teeth, taking a shower, or getting dressed requires a series of steps that can become overwhelming. The loss of interest in their own appearance can also be a sign of depression or cognitive withdrawal. They may no longer see the point in putting in the effort, or they may simply forget what they're supposed to do. As a caregiver, this can be a difficult sign to address. You might feel a sense of frustration or a desire to fix the problem. But the most compassionate approach is to offer help without judgment. Gently assist with personal care, making it a comfortable and peaceful ritual. They may not have the energy to do it themselves, but they will feel the love and care you provide. 5. Weakened voice and labored breathing. The way a person breathes and speaks can be a subtle but powerful indicator of their body's final transition. You might notice their voice becoming softer, weaker, and their sentences shorter. They may run out of breath while talking, or you might hear a change in their breathing pattern, becoming more shallow or even a little wheezy. This is a physical sign that their lungs and heart are no longer working at full capacity. The body is slowing down, and the effort it takes to breathe and speak is increasing. Over time, their hands and feet may start to feel cold to the touch or look pale or bluish. This is a sign of poor circulation, as the body directs its limited blood flow to the most vital organs. While it can be frightening to witness, these changes are a natural part of the end-of-life process. Trying to get them to talk more or breathe more deeply will not help. Instead, create a peaceful and quiet environment. Use a soft voice when you speak, and let them know you're there. The most important thing is that they feel safe, secure, and loved. Final thoughts. Significant changes in appetite, social withdrawal, loss of mobility, a decrease in personal care, and changes in breathing are not just random parts of aging. They are the body's quiet cues. They are signals that it's time to shift your focus from prolonging life to ensuring the final months are filled with comfort, dignity, and love. Understanding these signs isn't about fearing what's to come. It's about being prepared so you can make the most of the time you have left. It's about letting go of expectations and embracing the reality of their journey with compassion. When you do, you can ensure their final moments are filled with peace, and you can find a sense of peace in knowing you gave them your all. We hope this video has brought you clarity and comfort. Take a moment to reflect on these signs and consider how you can use this knowledge to be a source of strength for your loved one. Thank you for being here with us today.